Shalom, I'm Jody Hirsh, the Director of Judaic Education here at the JCC.
And I'm Rabbi Shari Shamah, the Jewish Family Specialist here at the JCC. And this
is our Moment of Torah.
So, Jody.
Yes, Shari.
Tell me, we're doing our Moment of Torah. Why do you study Torah?
Well, for me, there are a couple things. First of all, I'm very passionate about literature, and I look at the Torah as a great work of literature. It is the epic literature of the Jewish people. It's ours. And I feel also that I'm really connected to the whole chain of Jewish history in the past. My grandfather studied Torah, his grandfather. And you could go all the way back through history that Jews have studied Torah as a central thing. And then in addition to that, since I look at it as literature, I really look at the words of the Torah as very profound, but it's written in symbolic language, and I find that very powerful and very compelling.
I love that you have that imagery of the generations coming together through Torah.
So what compels you to study Torah?
You know, for me, Torah is fascinating because I love thinking about issues that were relevant more than 2,000 years ago, still being relevant today. And there's an expression, Shivim Panim LaTorah, that there's 70 faces of Torah. And it means that you can go back and you can constantly uncover new levels of Torah. You know, depending on your mood, depending on the weather, depending on where you are in your family life, there's something new you can get every year when you study the Torah portion. I use Torah as a foundation for me, as a guideline for how to live my life. I don't take every word literally as you don't, but I do think that there's so much goodness in here and there's so many layers to uncover. And it's just an amazing thing to look at and to study.
It's great. So I guess we have a lot in common as far as looking at the layers of it. So our parsha this week is Parshat Ekev. It's in the book of Deuteronomy. And so, Shari, can you give us an example of your kind of thinking when you study this parsha that really fits in with the essence of why you study Torah?
Absolutely. So there's a part in this Torah portion that says, why did God lead you the long way through the wilderness? Why did God test you this way? Why did God give you all these hardships? And it says, why? To know what's in your hearts. You have to endure. You can't just have things handed to you right then and there. Man doesn't live by bread alone. You know what else? Man lives by everything else in the world. And so for me, the idea that you can't just have things given to you, but you have to struggle, you have to challenge, you have to really work with it, I think that speaks to me, and that's right here in this Torah portion. Jody, is there something in here that really speaks to you?
Absolutely. I'm going to talk about a passage here. It's actually Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 13. That this really bothered me when I was a kid. It says essentially if you obey all the commandments and go with the program, you're going to get rain on your land. And if you don't go with the program, then the land is going to dry up and there will be no land and it won't yield its produce. So that so bothered me as a kid. I just didn't understand, well, how is that possible? You know, what if I were a really, really good guy and I have a neighbor that was a really terrible guy? Either we're both going to be rewarded by rain on our land, or we're going to both be punished by having no rain on our land. So how does that make sense? And as I grew up, and as I really understood literature better, I understood, for me anyway, the only way to understand this is it's a metaphor. It's symbolic language. And so what does it mean? It means that if I do the right thing, then I'm nurtured by that, just as the rain nurtures the soil and the plants that grow. And so this comes from within me. The fact that I've done the right thing, it doesn't even matter if anybody knows about it, I get a certain nurturing from that because it's something that I know that I've succeeded in doing and something that I feel proud of, even if nobody else does it. So for me, that's how I approach, what does this mean to me and what's the symbolic language?
And you know, I think for both of us, we really find moments in here that speak to us and things that we love to study. And it's our hope that you'll also look through the Torah portion, any Torah portion, and find the moments that speak to you.
You could do it too. So, Shabbat Shalom.
And happy studying.
And happy studying.